Just thought I'd come on because I am like bored. I took an earlier nap that kind of spilled into a coma. I gotta get regulated here. I gotta get regulated. But nevertheless, I thought I'd give it a shot and see if somebody might drop in and chat on my live. I'm trying to get as many hours in as possible as far as views, and I'm struggling, really struggling. It's kind of disheartening. It makes you feel like, wow, your stuff really isn't, people really don't want to see you. But I'm not going to let those thoughts enter my mind. But I do want to get this ball rolling because I think I have a little bit to say in the planet. It may not be as controversial as some things, but I got something to say. I got jokes to tell and stories to tell. I could tell you stories about being in daycare for 14 years. Oh, the stories I could tell. But for now, I'm just going to sit here and talk because luckily these lives are posted and can be replayed later. Oh God, I don't know what this is on the side of my mouth, but it's really annoying. Makeup is still intact, even though I slept for hours. I wasn't planning to do that, but my husband, he knew that I was pretty much out of it. So anyway, just trying to make it, trying to make it, trying to make it. God is still good. God is still blessing, even when we're struggling. We're still here. Can't complain. Been in worst case scenarios. And I'm just glad to still be here in the land of the living, as my grandmother used to always say. I'm still here in the land of the living. She's my muse when I make those Mother Jones videos. That's my grandmother. She's been gone since 2000. She died January 2nd, 2000. She lived to be 94, almost 95. Yeah. She's who raised me. And that was my muse. She was a complicated woman. She was different. Put it like that. But she was a sweetheart. Nevertheless, I was an awful child. I'll be honest. I'm not making excuses. It was just those times and what I look like didn't quite match the neighborhood. But hey, we come in all shades. Black is still black. And I identify as black, even though I might not look black. That's what I was raised as. I certainly wasn't raised as white. The white folks in my family didn't participate in my raising. So, with that said, let the record show I am black. Power to the people. And I never have it any other way. So, today, let's see, what did I do today? I worked. Um, I had 5 children here today, ranging from the ages of 2 months old to almost 11 years old. And I've got a couple of kids that normally come, but their transportation is incapacitated and they haven't been here since. So hopefully they'll be back. Yeah. Anyway, nobody likes to be on the bus all the time, especially with little kids. And I unfortunately am not able to provide transportation. Those days are gone. So hopefully the transportation for these two children will come back into play, and then one of them goes into kindergarten anyway. So I'm gonna lose her. I'm about to lose 3 children in one walk to kindergarten, and the other 2 children that are here for the summer, they'll be going back to school as well. So technically, that leaves me with one kid. So looks like somebody has entered the chat and exited the chat. I guess they don't like me. Anyway, whatever the case may be, I like to sometimes go through and drop in on people's chats just to see what they're doing and observe, and sometimes I'll say hi or make a comment, you know, give them some appreciation that they're there, as weird as they may be, because I've seen some weird lives. Oh my God. Sometimes they can actually be good material for videos, which I haven't done that in a while. Maybe that's a thought. I've been trying to come up with ideas as to what kind of videos I could start making. I like doing skits, but they've got to be funny. They can't be corny. They can't be dumb. They can't be blah. So, if anybody happens to see this video and has any suggestions, put it in the comments. What would you like to see done? I can be funny. I do a lot of different voices and characters. Now to give me a chance to play dress up. Anyhow, I am currently watching AV7 is what she calls herself. AV to the 7th power, my bad. She usually co-hosts with the lead attorney. And she's been covering the YSL RICO case, which has been very interesting. Woody came back to the courtroom today. Woody has been making his rounds, making his money until he has to go back on the witness stand. I think he goes back on the witness stand Monday next week. But he's been very entertaining through this debacle of a trial. We've been watching history take place in the state of Georgia, the corrupt state of Georgia, I might add. This is the most expensive trial in Georgia history, and it's nowhere near being done. These poor jurists, is that a word? Jurists. They're kind of on the hook to be jurors until this is over, and they can't go to work or anything, even though they haven't been in the courtroom in almost a month because of the clusterfuck that's been going on with regard to the prosecution and the former judge that was over this case, who was clearly biased, and they were not providing the defendants the appropriate rights that they were entitled to according to the Constitution. So, he was finally pretty much forced to recuse himself. He should have done that a long time ago. He was so obviously out of it. I mean, he needs to retire. I would hang my head in shame if that was me. He was viewed as such a clusterfuck. This whole thing was just bad, and he was leading the way in it. Now the defense attorneys, because there's several involved, they're trying to get the rest of the prosecution thrown off the case because they were in on the debauchery as well. Um, so much to go into that it's crazy. But this new judge that they have, she seems to be completely the opposite of the previous judge. She is not playing around. Sweet lady, but she ain't playing. And she's about everything being decent and in order and on time. And, she's making sure everything is lined up and appropriate before they kick this thing back off into the courtroom. But I'm just waiting to see that happen. The other big thing I've been paying attention to, which I haven't today because it upset me so much yesterday, I just had to leave it alone, is the Sonia Massey situation. And I've seen so many different videos from so many different people, black, white, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, Catholic, doesn't matter. I mean, people are outraged at what this man did to this woman. It's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. Clearly, like one woman said in her video, and I posted it, racism is a healthcare crisis in this country now. And that is the God's honest truth. I mean, many don't understand the history of police in the first place, but police were basically created to keep black people at, in a sense, in another form of slavery. You know, um, police department has was basically on the foundation of the KKK. You know, and it's to protect and serve, but who do they protect and serve? But now, the police department has served as a platform for uh, hate groups such as white supremacists, skinheads, anybody that hates non-whites, not just blacks, but non-white people. Um, that is their way into, policing, being on the police force is their way of being able to tote a gun and kill with no accountability. That's what they're doing these days. They have infiltrated the police departments nationwide. And it's awful. It's awful because they have access now to training on these weapons that are used in the police force, and even military type training they're getting, and they have a license to kill, and their word for so many centuries, I won't say centuries, decades, has, word is bond. Whatever they said goes. If they killed somebody, they would tell a lie, cover it up, and that was it. Their word against the truth. And thanks to modern technology, telephones, videos and whatnot, the veil is being lifted, has been lifted, and is continuing to be lifted. And people are seeing with their own two eyes. Some people still ain't got the memo. But nevertheless, you can't avoid the truth when it's just staring you in the face. And some people don't care because they have that same mentality. They don't like black people. They don't like immigrants. They don't like people of color. And I'm like, who the hell are you? You stole this country. So who the hell do you think you are to feel that you're above anybody? But I'm not going to get off into that because it's just going to make me more and more angry. So, I really don't have anything else to talk about. Nobody's come in except for that one bleep. One person came in, they peeked in the door and saw me and went, and left. So, I'll give it a couple more minutes. It's been 15 minutes and 3 seconds so far. Hopefully I'll get some credit for this one. I don't know, YouTube has been tripping lately. I've been posting videos and not getting credit for any views, and I know people have seen it, even if it is just 2, 3, 4 people. Can we shout out Viva Wood Live? But it's like, did that come in? Did I miss that, Viva? Even if I view my own video days later, it doesn't register. Why aren't you loading? And I know that that's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to get credit for every view, whether it's your own view and you look at it repetitively a few times. You're supposed to get credit for each time it loops over and views again. But YouTube, I'm sorry to say, is tripping and really kind of screwing over people like that. I think, because like I said in another earlier video, I did a little experiment and I had some people in my presence go on their own devices and go to look at certain videos. 5 or 6 people, and not one of them, not one view registered. I'm like, what is it? What's wrong with my channel that YouTube isn't giving me credit for the views that I'm getting, you know? I just think it's really unfair, but I'm still gonna plow away at it. And I'm gonna continue to do live streams. Eventually, I'll get a following. I need to be more consistent. But for now, I'm just trying to get more videos and more monetization. And, you know, once I do that, live streaming will be my next step. And, you know, take it from there. I love to sit here. I'll sit here and chat with people all night because I'm half vampire. So I don't go to sleep early at night. So for those late owls that need to talk to somebody, I'm here. And I can also make videos on certain topics. They don't necessarily have to be live streamed, but people might want to go back and look at, even like just now, somebody might want to look at me talking about talking on YouTube. But with that said, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap this up because it is rather late and I don't think anybody's coming in. But I've got 11 minutes and 15 seconds of video that somebody can go back and look at. And maybe I'll get a few minutes here and there. Who knows? It's hard to get up to that 3,000 hours of viewing mark and 10 million short views, and it's hard. You got to be a superstar almost. But anywho, wish me luck, you guys. Pray for me as I pray for you. We're living in difficult times now, and we have to uplift each other as much as we can. So with that said, I'm checking out. Hope you have a nice evening. I plan to. And for those that know me, I love you. And I will be talking to you later. I'm sure you talk to my husband more than me anyway, because he's out about. He's out amongst people. I'm kind of stuck up in the house with daycare and arthritis. But nevertheless, I'm checking out. You guys have a wonderful evening and sleep well. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. Yeah, but they don't know the secrets like that. You need to start coming on. Shannon, I think you're watching. I ain't going up in there.